The sense of self, ultimately, is the sense of lack of humility. That's the hardest barrier to cross, I amness. So what is the key to mastery then? I'm not this personality, I'm not this body, I'm not this spiritual being, but ultimately there's an I am still left in the center. So how do we make those small steps to that great void, right? Well, we can start with our humanness. And we can do this when we come into these sacred places. Not only do we come to receive something, we have to give a bit of ourselves. Right? We have to give a little bit of ourselves. We're here, this place of profound beauty and ancient wisdom. Can you see how it's like we're in the center and this is like a ripple? If you were from above and you dropped a pebble in water, see the ripples? The ambition, they say, is the very thing which cuts the fruition of mastery. Heroes are made by fires and burning buildings. You understand? Masters are born when there's nothing special to do. I want you to learn to love this. This is what the steps to mastery take. And ultimately, the first and last and in between practice of anything you ever learn is one simple principle. One simple and the most mightiest of spiritual attainments. And the one that's most invisible to yourself when you attain it. You know what that is? Humility. Look, we're at the bottom here. And we're in the center of the ripple that goes out. So humility is a way for you to become in the center of the universe. When you have rested in humility, then all the powers of the universe come through you. It's from humility, the core of it, the striking core of it, the softening core of humility, the rested core of humility is where we can intend from. So how do you walk with humility as your power in the world increases? What are you holding on to now that you would never want to admit about the self? That where you're not humble. You don't have full humility. And it's something you know you must give up. But you would never do it in public. So, in the ancient ways of mastery, the idea was the ego thinks the pyramid, if you see the pyramid, right? That the top is the utmost, the highest. I am at the top. I have attained something. But in truth
be known, I'm scared to death of people knowing who I am.
I have this
need and desire to always do what's right.
It's just pride, and it's so ridiculous, and I've held on to it for a long time, and
I've dealt with a lot of pain in the last few years.
I keep myself separate from other people through judgment.
For me, it's a fear of being loved. I try to love everyone so much because what I really want is to be loved by others.
I say that I trust love and that I want to awaken to that love, but I find myself just, protecting my own heart. I can give and give and give.
but really it's just pride and posturing and a bunch of bullshit, honestly.
And it's crushing. It stifles me.
So what does it mean to be a master?
I'm giving up my fear of rejection.
Fear of being rejected.
The kind of fear of rejection.
I give up my fear of not being enough.
I'm gonna give up my feeling of not being good enough.
And it really comes from a fear of rejection that I'm not enough.
It means to listen with the ears of the ears.
So I let that go. I let that fear go. And I let that expectation go.
To feel with the feeling of the feeling.
I am going to give up protecting my heart.
I'm going to give up this hardness that I like to think was strength.
I am going to give up vanity.
I'm going to give up any concern that I have for what others may think of me.
I hereby get to give up that I know what's best for another.
I'm going to give up the need to be right.
I'm going to give up the part of me that keeps me small.
I'm going to give up my smallness and live large.
I'm going to give up the pride I have in my intellect.
I'm going to give up judgment.
I am going to give up self-criticism.
Criticism! I'm going to let go of the need to be seen.
And I've got to let go of the desire to impress and just be open and give.
And I just give unconditionally.
But I'm going to give up the protection.
So I'm giving up the suffering.
Now if you notice, every one of these are strategies to keep self away from another. They're subtle forms of separative manifestations. If you analyze them for what they are, we are choosing them and creating them because we fear union with otherness.
Brother or sister.
I'm going to give up.
And all these strategies show up in unique ways. But when you reveal them, guess what? You become weightless.
I want to give up figuring out everything and having
I give up my fear of...
Spiritual warriors seek not about gain. They seek about letting go of an aspect of the self that they no longer need. I want you to learn to love this.
I want to give up my need.
More of this as you gain more power. And your power, you have to give up.
self-sabotage.
What's there is my fear of speaking up.
Without identity, without sex, without label.
I give up my self-doubt. I'm giving up my fear of
What happens when that's peeled away?
not giving myself
What's
the
left?
opportunity to live life full out. I'm giving it all up to love.
When you find it, you'll become
I just
everything.
release that. I want to let that go fully.
Oh.
Thank
oh.
I am going to give up the belief that I have that whatever I do is never good enough.
I want to give up my incessant need to keep searching for what I know I already have.
I'm gonna give up praying so deeply to connect to God,
feeling that's the way that I can connect to God deepest, and realize that connecting with all of you is deeper than praying to connect.
As everybody was going around and sharing, I realized those are all pieces of me. They're all aspects of me. And so I'm willing to give all those up.
So I'm going to give up my evasiveness to deep, profound relationship and open to vulnerability.
Because through all the pain and hardship, it's been the hugest gift.
You understand? Right? The more you see it, do you identify from it? You know in the sacred way, you can let it go. Learn to love this. At times, to work up to this through self-reflection without all of us here can be excruciating. Who knows what I'm talking about? Hot rock is burning us. You don't drop it. The ripple goes out. Your humility touches all beings everywhere. I'll go first. And then we'll go this way, as you wish. Okay? An aspect of yourself, reflection, that's not humble, or that could go deeper in humility. What do you say, my friends?
Sure.
It's a game of warriors. Shit. Is that